Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Cool, I'm live now. Oh, this is so weird. I should have wiped this thing off beforehand, but oh well. Oh, alright. Now, let's see. Yeah, it's still the same. All right. Let's see, are we alive? Let's see. Are we in fact live? Oh, alright, just doing a quick check to see if it's. Alright, just doing a quick check to see if it's. Alright, it's working. Oh, so it's picking up on the phone too. Cool. That's actually really cool. Alright. Alright, so folks. Folks, this is my first time attempting to do a stream, so let's see, which one do I go with? Let's go Division 2. Ooh, Division 3 is more of my personal whole exploration type. Division 3 is more of my personal exploration type deal. And also, that's currently what's going on there. Slimes have opened a casino. Okay. That is incredibly weird. Alright, so let me see. Alright, well, first off, let's hit that. There we go. Yes, I know. Ah, fudge. Oh well. But yeah, I know that the fire attack is not the best tool in this game. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna not use the mouse. Use this mouse. It's like if it were a different game, I would use the external mouse, but honestly, I think I prefer having both hands good and close to the computer. So let's just... Alright, so Pardon while I think about what to do here, because I wasn't expecting to get this far. Hard today. Oh boy. Oh, come on. Alright, so I've been streaming for 5 minutes, but nobody's watching. Oh boy. Now, let's see, does it actually... Oh. Hey, I can see what's going on in my own live stream. And I'm doing fudge all at the moment. Ooh, that's sad. That's actually kind of sad. I feel kind of bad at this point. Alright. Oh, fudge. Thankfully, everything's blurred to shiest. Alright, so pretend you did not see that. Alright, anyway, so, now then. Time to think. Alright, so... Oh. Whoops. Shifted out of frame. Oh, really? It's set to that specific... Wow. Wow, Wirecast. Wow. I am slightly disappointed. I am slightly disappointed in you. Alright, so let's see inventory. Actually, first, let's look at the loadout. Loadout! Oh, really? Fine, what am I... Oh, wait, no. There. What? Aw, my dragon's not even equipped. What the fudge? Alright, let's see here. Let's save this loadout as, actually, first off, let's... Oh yeah, I've been fading in, now that I think about it. That's... No, Great Core. Thunderball! Now I need a power mode. Alright, let's just go with Gunner. Alright, so now let's look at the equipment specifically. 2-star, 2-star, oh, 3-star, 3-star. So I need to get 2 more 3-star items. Comes into my inventory before I can actually do the Hall of Heroes. Which is its own thing in its own right. Oh man, that sovereign slime, I still get nightmares. Ooh. You know what, let's go Hazardous Heist. Da da da! Yes, I know I'm sitting around at the moment, but, be patient. If you please. Ooh. Messaging someone real quick. So, be patient, though. I'm feeling that... Actually, is there anybody else here? Oh, there is somebody watching. Hello! Hello, person! Who is what? Oh, wait, no, wait, that's me. I forgot, because I clicked on my own stuff. Not if I'm a failure on that one. I did then fail. Yes, I'm still chatting. For anybody that has possibly joined in, though I'm gonna guess no, nobody has joined in yet. Alright. Yes, I know audio is currently... Whoa. Okay. Laggy. let's close that. Okay. Alright. Yes, I know that there's no game audio. Yeah, because I don't have it. Yo. Because I'm still... Alright, anyway. So here we go. So at present, I do not have enough skills to... There we go. So I was adjusting the window again. I guess like I'm using as you can tell from the watermark, I'm using Wirecast, and I'm still not quite used to using it yet. So have pity on me, everybody. Have pity on me. Whoa, that was a buffer. That was a hell of a buffer point. Oh yeah, wait, I can't craft anything because no alchemy machine. Alright. Whoa, Jesus. Suddenly glad I rely on ranged combat, not close up. Ah! Cool. Da 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 da. Alright. Killed off a couple more gremlins. Wahoo! Okay. Oh man, I suddenly wish I had music. Ah, jeez. Uh-oh. One thing I don't like about gremlins, they can heal. But it seems like their healing ability is kind of... It's like gremlins can heal themselves, but they also have another type that can also heal other units that are on this battlefield. Oh, fudge. Ha 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 ha! Fight me! Rule number one when you're fighting a ranged battle, when you're playing the ranged game, kill the healer first. Actually, for ranged combat or bomber type, take out any sort of healing unit first. Fudge. Yes, I know this is kind of cheap. But I am okay with that because it is a actual strategy. I am trying to avoid damage as much as possible. Yoo-hoo! Alright. Hey, Bengali! You're gonna need a bandage. Whoop. Alright, come on. It's a good thing I don't have any water guns in this game. It's a good thing there's no water guns in this game, or else you'd never be rid of these guys. Outdated movie jokes are outdated. Actually, I've never even seen that movie, or at least not in its entirety. Blah, blah, blah. I believe I've seen bits and pieces of it, but otherwise that's it. That is otherwise it in terms of my experience with the Gremlins franchise. So the main things about it that I know of are from YouTube and from pop culture in general. Well, but, oh well. Alright. Gremlin knockers. Oh, so many jokes. That's not appropriate for young audiences. Alright, okay, let's see. Okay, come on. Come on, guys. There we go. Alright. That's setting you up. Little Panic at the Disco there. Alright, now that I can't sing much more than that because it's YouTube and YouTube's a little less forgiving on stuff, which is kind of sad, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, really. It's like I could actually throw in my 2 cents, but people have already done so. Oh, like plenty of people have thrown in their 2 cents on the whole fair use thing with YouTube. YouTube like Markiplier. Markiplier did a very good job on that. And a whole bunch of other YouTubers. So I'm just not even going to really try and throw in my 2 cents on that. That's so... it's going to be a case of... YouTube is flawed, but it's like, it's good for some people. People are just trying to work around those flaws. That can be a little difficult. Oh, fudge. Fudge! Fudge! Aha! Now I can switch to my more anti-construct weapon. And start showing off more of my personal style, which is I can do damage over time and run around. Because it's especially funny to watch somebody Adi's life slowly tick down from a dot. It's, for some reason, very amusing / satisfying to me to watch a mob get dropped by a dot. I don't get why it's so dang funny, but it is. Because now, mainly my other account, I use ice damage rather regularly. Particularly for my ranged combat. Combat. And while the fire tech alchemist is good at dealing with construct type creatures, which is those mechanical monsters, like that big old tree guy. When it comes to gremlins and animals, it doesn't do so good. That's an unfortunate part of life. But at the same time, and things can be quite fun. There we go. Oh, right. Oh boy, it's one of those. So, for those that don't play the Spiral Knights, those glowing blue blocks, the moment they get set off, cause whatever they're touching to disappear. So if I hadn't moved so quickly, the little green boxes that I just shot would have, gotten zapped out of existence. Which is kind of sad. Yeah, it would have been a little annoying. But so far I'm actually doing quite well. Let's see, yellow, yellow. Ah, lots of yellow, no red. And I found that one really satisfying thing in this game is to collect either the red, the yellow, or the purple crystals, because those can be used to create pet food for my little dracket. Can be used to make pet food for the little Battle Sprite, the creature that's over my shoulder is a Battle Sprite. And Battle Sprites need different crystals to make different varieties of Sprite food. Because, variety is the slice of life in these kinds of games. Games and universally applied things tend to make things a little too bit. Things like universal ammo in games tend to make them a little less complicated, but also can make them a bit boring depending on how you apply them. Especially if you go from a game that originally had a varying ammo system to a universal ammo one. One which is kind of a sad truth, but hey. Like, for example, Dead Space 3 went from having various forms of ammunition on its game. Like, you could have grenades for its detonator. You could have grenades for the detonator and other things. Things that just inflict all sorts of mayhem. And with that thing. But you also had to be mindful of your other equipment, too. Because that obviously brought other things to the table. But now it becomes a case of things that are a little bit more difficult in terms of creating gameplay. Or wait, where did I go? I went on a tangent. My brain did a tangent jump. Oops. Alright, so Dead Space 3, need detonator ammo, or Dead Space 2, detonator ammo. Various forms of ammo like grenades for a detonator, etc., etc., etc. Actually, when they went to Dead Space 3, while they created a rather interesting weapon creation system, they also kind of goofed up in that they also made it a universal ammo system. And while I get the reasoning why, when compared to the original experience, it kind of cheapened things a bit in terms of like quality of the gameplay. Like, I'll never know why game companies make some of the decisions that they do. Fundamentally, sometimes decisions that are made aren't so simple. And that's just kind of a fact of life. If it just becomes a case of you just really wonder what the heck went on during the discussion/design period of some of these things. things to create some of these features that drive people up the wall. Like you genuinely question some of their some of these people's life choices. Like, did you lose a bet? Did you lose a bet and have to put that into your game? Game is one joke that I could make, but I'm not that rude. At least I try not to be that rude. But sometimes I am, but oh well. Alright, anyway. Oh. Ooh. Those guys. Those guys are their own can of worms. Worms and story time over for right now! Don't you hate it when you get a leg spike? Oh god. Alright. Oh god. Where's the landmine thrower? Uh-oh. And somebody's healing. Oh god. Oh god. I'm failing really bad. Oh Jesus. Jiminy Christmas, I'm failing so bad. Oh Jesus. These guys are so annoying. Not even because of their shielding, because they're actually somewhat more intelligent than everybody else. They actually have a bit more intelligence in terms of combat strategies. Whoa, Jesus. You are annoying because you can run around all over the place. But you're also annoying because it's like no matter what, it seems you're dropping bombs every few seconds. Which is a little annoying, to say the least. It's like bomber types can be really, really unpleasant. And I'm going to clear out every other place in this space. Crimsonite! That's what my dragon feeds on. Gimme, 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 gimme. Oh, fudge. Fudge! Okay, and I got ranged attackers. Hikers up the wazoo! Oh, crap. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't get set on fire. Getting set on fire does not end well. Especially since it seems that they're able to shoot over walls. Walls, which is a little unusual. Okay, come on. Come on, you little... Oh, Iron Claw Scorcher. Cool name. Cool beans. Oh, I could have used my dragon's ability. I keep forgetting to use my sprite's powers. Oh well. Alright, anyway. Hup. Now, first I'm gonna take a brief moment of pause, because... Yikes! But yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Well, I'm having a little bit of fun. Even though there's nobody here at the moment. Oh, the only one watching is me, it seems. Or not, actually, it seems like it doesn't count me when I'm watching. So somebody was watching. My bad, I'm sorry. That's extremely rude of me. I'm really sorry. Oh no, come back, please. Oh well. Oh well. It's like I'm not expecting to be that successful right out the gate. And oh boy, I'd be very depressed if I was expecting that. If I was expecting to be successful right out the gate, I think I'd have to check myself into a mental hospital because that would be a grade A delusion. Oh, man, that's a terrible joke. I am sorry to everybody for saying that. Alright. Anyway, now to shoot the... It's always annoying when there's more than one healer, gremlin-type healers, because gremlin healers... Oh, fudge. Something really glad it gives me a free revive. Thankfully, in almost any dungeon runner, in almost any of these dungeons, you get one free revive. As it doesn't have any sort of effects, but is still useful. And I could have been safe. I could have gone the safe route and decided to not unlock the one with the gremlins, but it's like, I wanted the loot. I wanted the loot and I wanted to fight. I had a little bit, get more experience, get more drops. That's because I'm just a little bit greedy on that one. Just a little bit greedy. Need that, and I need crowns because alchemy orbs are expensive, and that's what I need to get the next year. Admittedly, this game does a weird... This game's idea of scaling in terms of price is a little bit weird. Like, the scaling for price is, like, scaling of price in terms of, like, the various items. Items is a major mismatch, it seems. Games like you got level 1, like you got 1 star, which is basically the lowest level, while being like less than 300. 100, and that's, you know, fine, that's understandable. Well, but then you end up with, and then you go to the next tier up, and it's about 500, also understandable. That goes like about 500 or a little bit, or a bit higher than that. Then it starts getting higher. It starts climbing up. Up in terms of pricing. Saying like the higher starred things. Did I screw up somewhere? Alright, so the higher starred things get really, really expensive. Like, it multiplies as exponentially in terms of expensive, but it seems to stop at, like, the actual ranking of items stops at rank 5. 5, which is okay. There we go. Figured it out. I was dum-dum. Alright, shoot out the healer type. Alright, now I can start shooting these guys in the back. Like, it actually seems to be able to tell when you're hitting something in the back. Alright, so this game's coding is pretty good in terms of that. Like, actual combat's pretty cool. Well, like, it does a nice job of telegraphing when the monster is going to attack, etc., so that you can pull off some cool things, some cool maneuvers. Maneuvers or defenses. Defenses in the concept itself, while admittedly would be the biggest amount of BS in any sort of science fiction novel. Get laughed out of a science fiction novel. Probably most circles, except for like maybe a kid's book. Kids' book would be great. And kids' books are great because it's like your audience doesn't judge that much, and they don't quite. It's like even if your science is just completely wrong, even if your science is completely wrong, if your plot is completely nonsensical or would never be able to happen in reality, well, even in like a science fiction reality, maybe because it defies science that badly, you still are able to make it work because kids aren't nearly as judgmental as adults are, at least in that respect. Like kids tend to be a bit nicer. Most kids, anyway. Some kids can be absolute little devils, and you swear you can see little horns growing out of the top of their head. But as a whole, kids tend to be the the least judgmental audience. Since for people, for most books in general, like there are some forms of literature that, as a whole, kids won't end up reading. Getting mainly because certain genres tend to invite more mature concepts that a parent would probably rather lob their arm off than want to explain to their kids, so they just make it easier on themselves by saying, no, you can't read that. No, you can't read that. I don't want to answer these questions. I don't want to answer that. And so you just end up with so there's obviously going to be a few genres that you're not going to really see much with kids in like being marketed to kids, like the romance genre. Ooh, eh. Most romance books, I don't think a parent would let their kid read. That and most horror. Or like R.L. Stine did a very good job in creating a series of horror stories that is perfectly fine for your kids to read. In that it's not gory. It's not gory in any way. Anyway, like you're absolutely fine. Fine in that respect. Like it'll give them some nightmares because rather obviously R.L. Stine stuff can be rather takes a nice little nosedive down into the uncanny valley and even sometimes go onto the realm of scary. Or like some of the things that R.L. Stine's work or can genuinely give your kids nightmares. Whereas if they get too into they can give themselves nightmares. There's like the Fever Swamp, Werewolf of Fever Swamp. That one did give me nightmares. But otherwise, you're relatively okay. But otherwise, with R.L. Stine's work, you are pretty much golden. Golden in terms of just being okay. Hey, like, it's amazing sometimes. Times the difficulties of some of these things. It's like, it's amazing how sometimes a parent can not really be that attentive in terms of what their kid is watching. And, like, I'm not knocking parents. I'm not trying to be insulting or anything. It's like, some content, they don't really check. They don't really think about it. How do they look at something and they don't actually do much research for themselves? Sounds like, for example, the Deadpool movie. It's like that's a great example of that. But moving on, so that I don't get sucked into that segue, and moving back to the Goosebumps bit. most of R.L. Stein's gives a nice, goofy, and creepy style thing. It's like the Haunted Mansion from Disney. Disney just a bit more on the creepy side. It's a bit more on the creepy side. Like some of its themes are absolutely loopy. It'd be like a Monster Blood, like basically Monster Blood, which is effectively silly putty that eats you. Silly putty with an attitude. Silly putty with an attitude. Yeah, that works perfectly, actually. It's silly putty with an attitude. Dude, or Night of the Living Dummy 3, which is... Actually, no, Night of the Living Dummy 3 is genuinely creepy as hell. That one's not nearly as silly. That one's actually, like that, some of those things have been used as actual legit horror movie storylines. Like I said, it is creepy. Maybe the Night of the Living Dummy set is absolutely creepy. As is the Haunted Mask. Haunted Mask is one of the other ones that takes a step away from the usual silly and goes right into this could actually be a legit horror film, and it would be scary. Right, because that kind of thing is intimidating to some people. The idea of getting attacked, or the idea of getting effectively possessed as to by a dummy. Now, if I remember this guy, he's basically one of the things with Spiral Knight is that it gives you the option of playing several different styles of play. Like it's got these guardians that show up all the way around this chamber, all fall into different styles of play. Like there's various things. Like this one is a tank. It's very much as a support type. He's not meant to hit hard or fast. He's not meant to hit very hard. He's not meant to hit very fast. As he's resistant against stunning. I think he's literally meant to just take hits and, be very, very durable. Well, the thing about it, though... The thing about it is that when you get to that point, when you get to that degree, is that with most of the tanks things, you're not going to be doing much hitting. You're going very slow and you're trying to, stun things. You're trying to keep something's attention or keep it from hitting your other teammates. And that's very much the role of a tank. But then we get over on this side, and this is where it gets a little bit weird. Like, it gets a little, fly over your head a little bit sometimes, especially if you're, feeling very, very tired. I heard various there's basically various types of damage in this game. One is normal damage, which is the red icon. See the little red the little red icon on there? On there just below the level 1 bit. At that little red icon. Next to that blue bar. The red icon is normal damage, and it is basically very universal. Also, there's pretty much no mobs that have any resistances to it. It's also not strong against any certain types of mobs. But hey, what you gonna do? Now, elemental damage is the green, which is directly beneath it. Elemental damage is different. It's a unique type of damage, and it, of course, has specific advantages and disadvantages depending on who you use it against. And it's like, for example, the gremlins, it's a very bad idea to try and use elemental damage on the gremlins unless you're very patient, unless you have a lot of time on your hands, are very patient, and or are very, very skilled at avoiding hits. It's entirely. Really, that's very much the thing. Thinking there's various types of damage. There's 3 other types of damage. Damage in terms of, in addition to base damage, in addition to basic damage, standard damage. Damage in that other damage is piercing, which is like needle type attacks. Actually, certain ones have a higher resistance to that. Like specifically slime type creatures are very resistant to piercing. Piercing, it just bounces off of them. Because have you ever tried to stab Jello? Have you ever tried to stab Jello? If you have, then you will understand what I mean. Now, the Shadow Defender, and now there's also Shadow Damage, which is basically like dark energy, fiend type creatures, undead. And of course, undead and fiends are resistant to it. You know, they're completely and utterly resistant to that kind of thing. But other creatures are more vulnerable to it. But so it's like if you play around with this particular half of the building, holding these particular types of damage, imagine, yeah, things become a bit more interesting. And you do have to be more careful with who you play against, and sometimes you're going to have to be very, very patient. Now, I don't know about the specialty type, but it seems like he's adapting. Like this one is just selling gear that helps cater to specific missions. In this case, it's actually, like, it is specialized against particular types of monsters. Ah, okay. Got it. Okay. I feel a little bit dumb now, but oh well. So you got different types of different... So different shields of different effects in terms, like different equipment. Basically, equipment has various effects. It can help you with different things. They have different defensive abilities. They also have various effects that they give you. Like, for example, my Sentinel helm is a great example of this helping out my particular style, which is using guns. It gives me a damage bonus. Notice, and yes, I did search rather hard for that particular helm. But yeah. Yes, there's various other ones. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. Alright, so. Alright, allow me to revise some of my thought process because, you know, this is how I work. Like, I revise stuff. Because I don't filter too much. I don't filter very much. But thankfully I don't say stupid things when I do that, usually. Alright, so these guys are all defensive type. These guys all handle defense against. It's a particular type of damage. Piercing damage, shadow damage, elemental damage. You know, this one specializes in hunting different types of monsters and attacking them. But then, these guys are the archetypes in terms of what kind of combat, that style, you want. Like the Cobalt Knight is very, very general. Like, these are very, very... Like, this is the absolute, like, you know, one-size-fits-all... It's all type. It's meant to be very, very flexible. Flexible, and these are the armors that are given And basically, these are the armors that are. This is basically the Cobalt Knight is the main line of things to get for free, relatively anyway. And you get the recipes. You get the recipes for the armor, and you get to upgrade it up along the line as you go. Oh, so if you don't want to really mess around with other stuff too much, the Cobalt Knight is a good fallback point. But depending on some of the styles, like if you want to specialize in one thing or another, like for example, I like guns, and so I might be more inclined to get some gunslinger equipment. But though admittedly I'm not much for it. Like, the gunslinger is okay, but not really my preferred. Like, some of the gunslinger's equipment's okay, but it's not really my personal preference. That's to be honest. It's like not really my personal style. Oh, like I'm really kind of trying to feel out this particular one because as I figured that the elemental I originally kind of thought up this character thought up this idea, this design before I really got as far as I am now and before I really figured out the damage things. And so I guess there was a rather hilarious point at which I was rather stupidly dying a lot. To gremlins. Because like, oh my god, why aren't you dying? Why aren't you... okay, I'm dead. Oh boy. Well, and it can be rather comical, but at the same time it can also be very infuriating. Ooh. But, at the same time, these various suits, these various armors, these various tricks, are legitimate ideas. They are very cool. Well, they're very good. And they can be very helpful in certain environments. Since, like, also various monsters deal various types of damage, so having greater defense against one type or another can also be quite helpful. Well, in this case, like the Spiral Demo suit also gives some nice advantages when you're using bombs. And that can be useful for, putting up a rather large defensive in terms of actual attack. Like by basically making yourself a walking bomb if you want. So like one thought I had was to basically go for a more defensive strategy in terms of like what I wear and how I'm playing. I'm gonna go for something more heavy in terms of armor. Armor so that I can, move, even if I move slow, even if my attack speed is slower, even if my attack speed is no longer is not as impressive as if overall, it can still be quite fun. But my thought is that having a greater defense, sounds like having an increased defense against various things, like having a heavier defense and inflicting more elemental type damage. Damage so I have more time to rely on, like if I go for a higher defense, so I can rely a bit more on actually having more time for my Fire Tech Alchemer to actually inflict a fire effect. Like the fire stats effect, there's no defense against. There's no real defense against that except for an actual armor effect. unless you're literally themed to the fire. Like there's various monsters that are able to inflict status effects, and they're of course immune to the status effect that they can inflict. Heck, which is fairly obvious, but you know, oh YOLO on that one. That one or whatever. But anyway, in my thought on some of these things is that you can be pretty simple. Is that focusing on defending against elemental damage, which is what the gremlins and the constructs both tend to inflict, if I remember correctly. Luckily, I'll have to check because I can easily check whenever I'm fighting against them. But I think the bomber would actually give me a pretty good defense. It's against most things. It's like, let me look for a bit. Oh, there we go. Brain. Like, this seems like a pretty good defensive shield. No, like, the equipment itself seems pretty good in terms of defense. And so perhaps instead of my fire tech alchemy, I could go for more of the fire bombs. Bombs instead, which I do have a fire bomb. Which would be just as effective at the same time. I'll have to think things out a bit more. I'll have to think about it a bit more. But I'm definitely going to keep using the Cobalt Knight shield because that one's pretty good and it's got a nice set of defensives against... Like, the Cobalt Knight shield is pretty good. But it's fairly versatile, it works pretty well. Well, it's got set against one particular... It's got things for 2 different types of damage, evidently. Oh, the lovely Miss Lila's Wolf Pack Party. Oh, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Alright, so... I got a plan! So first I'm gonna try... So first up I'd have to get the Spiral Demo Helm. The bottom of the 2 demo types. Like, that's the one thing I have to do, is deal with the demo types. Really, if I did do a charge time reduction. Yeah, I think I'm going to use my fire bombs instead. Alright, so now... man, I should change up my... Did I change up my chat settings on this one? I don't know. Oh well. Oh well. Man, how long have I been recording anyway? Hour already? Oof. Okay. Alright, so I'm doing an hour of it, so I've already gotten to an hour. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting to get to an hour. Oh boy. Oh well. Alright. Anyway, let's get back to business. So now we just have to wait for the area to load because, you know, things can be a little bit slow. Alright. Here we go. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna turn up the broadcasting quality a little bit. At least it's a little bit better anyway. Alright, now then, let's see. Spiral. Since they're called Spiral Demo Helm. Come on. There we go. Hello, Spiral Demo Helm. Oh, fudge. Ouch. Oh, that one's a health bonus +1, too. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna be doing some grinding. But also going to do a little bit of... First, let's feed up our little dragon, because... Heyo. Oh, whoops. He needs a moat. Should I feed him the moat that I made? No, I had not. I goofed. Alright, so yeah. I've currently got my dragon set on a more defensive ability. Whoa, that was a weird spike of lag. But yeah, for right now, I'm going to be running around a bit. And specifically trying to farm. I'll be trying to farm. Alright, but I probably am going to have to call it for here right now. Call it here right now, so, bye-bye, everybody. I'm gonna be calling it here. So for right now, everybody, howdy y'all, been a lovely audience. And for those of you that have visited, though admittedly nobody was here according to the counter, but hey, for those of you that watch after this stream is done, I love you all. Thank you very much. And if y'all want more, though I'm probably going to be doing more of this because this is actually kind of therapeutic. Like, this is actually rather nice to do. So, subscribe. I don't have to like or comment. I mean, if you don't want. Like, if you actually like the video, then, click like. If you want to make a comment, comment. But if you want to support this channel and support this content, kindly do subscribe, okay? Alright then, that's it. Bye-bye, everybody.